Hello, everyone. Welcome to Topic of the Day. This is our Sunday edition where we bring to you the places that have been in news lately. So, let's start our today's discussion of places in news with the first location as the Suez Canal. Now, recently, Suez Canal was in news as Egypt has increased the transit fees for ships passing through the Suez Canal with a hike of up to 10%. So, if we look into the map, here you have Egypt, and this is the Sinai Peninsula portion of Egypt. This is the particular location of the Suez Canal. Now, Suez Canal is connecting the Mediterranean Sea with the Red Sea. This particular is the Gulf of Suez, the Gulf of Aqaba. Here you have the Persian Gulf. Now, there are some major ports that are situated over this canal. Now, the two major ports that are situated over this canal are the Said port and the Suez port. Now, let us discuss about the Suez Canal a bit further. First of all, it is artificial sea level waterway that is located in Egypt, and it was built between 1859 to 1869. So it almost took 10 years, and it is running north to south across the Isthmus of Suez. Here you have the port Said, and here you have the port Suez. Now, this gives the shortest route between the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Western Pacific Ocean. Now, the Suez Canal is very significant as it negates the navigation around the Cape of Good Hope in Africa and cuts up to 7,000 kilometers of travel. So, earlier the ships used to travel across the Cape of Good Hope, that is in Africa. So, if we talk about the Suez Canal, it is around 193.3 kilometers long and approximately 205 meters wide. And with this, it has a depth of around 24 meters deep. Some of the major lakes across the Suez Canal are Lake Manzila, the Ismailia Lake, and the Great Bitter Lake. Now, if we talk about the brief history of the Suez Canal, let us consider the timeline. The idea of construction of Suez Canal was started by Pharaoh of Egypt, that was Senusret III. An idea was conceived back in 1887 BC. Remember, here we are talking about BC, so it is approximately 4,000 years old. Now, the Pharaoh had the idea to connect the river Nile with the Red Sea. In mid 1800s, Egyptian viceroy was convinced to support its construction. In 1858, the Universal Suez Ship Canal Company was tasked to construct and operate the Suez Canal, and in 1869, it was opened for international navigation. In addition, the construction of modern Suez Canal started back in 1859. Now, in 1956, what happened was Egypt nationalized the canal, and that led to the popular Suez Canal crisis, wherein Israel, with Britain and France, attacked Egypt against the nationalization of this particular canal. In the Suez Canal crisis, for the very first time, the United Nations peacekeeping forces were used. Again, in 1967, Egypt closed it to all the shipping that lasted till 1975. So, approximately around 1973, this canal was the focus of the Arab Israeli war. Moving further, if we talk about the significance of the Suez Canal, first of all, it is one of the world's most heavily used shipping lanes. Around 10% of the world trade by volume passes through the Suez Canal per year, and in addition, 30% of the global container traffic passes through the Suez Canal. On an average, 50 ships with US dollar 9.5 billion worth passes through it on a daily basis, and both the freight and cargo ships can pass through this particular canal. Now let's move on to our next location, and that is Jordan. So recently this was in news as some archaeologists found around 9,000-year-old shrine at a remote Neolithic site in Jordan's eastern desert. When we talk about Neolithic site, it means Neolithic was the last leg of the Stone Age. So it is near about 12,000 years ago. So this is the particular shrine. So as you can see, the highlighted portion is Jordan. The capital of Jordan is Amman, and it is bounded to the north by Syria, to the east by Iraq, to the southeast and south by Saudi Arabia, to the west by Israel, and West Bank. Now, West Bank is a portion of Israel that is actually acquired by Israel from Jordan in the Six-Day War that happened back in 1962. Why this is known as West Bank? Because Jordan River passes through this, and the west portion of the land is known by the name West Bank. In the present scenario, Jordan lies to the east of River Jordan. It is an Arab country of Southwest Asia and it is generally landlocked with only a short coastline at the Strait of Aqaba. Now, this particular is the Gulf of Aqaba, and here you have the Strait of Aqaba. So, Jordan shares only a small coastline with the Strait of Aqaba. This portion is the Persian Gulf, and here you have the Mediterranean Sea. Now, if we talk about the Jordan River drains the water of Lake Tiberias, which is also known as the Sea of Galilee. Now, Sea of Galilee is situated somewhere here. Sea of Galilee is also known as the Lake Tiberias. Another major river is the Yarmouk River. We also have the Dead Sea over here. Dead Sea is an important location as it drops to about 430 meters below the sea level at the Dead Sea. That is the lowest natural point on the Earth's surface. Now, why do we call Dead Sea by this name? The reason is high salinity prevents macroscopic aquatic organisms such as fish and other aquatic plants from living in this region. And the main tributary to the Dead Sea is the Jordan River. Now let's move on to our next location and talk about Chernobyl. Recently, this was in news as Russian forces took control of Chernobyl nuclear site following the Russian President Vladimir Putin's decision to invade Ukraine. Now, if we see in the map, Chernobyl is located in the northern Ukraine that lies only 10 miles from Belarus. And as we know, Belarus is a critical Russian ally. Now, 32 kilometers along the radius of Chernobyl is abandoned from 1986 due to a nuclear accident that took place at this site. So, in the current scenario, majorly this region is uninhabited. Here you can find the Sea of Azov, and here we have the Black Sea. This is the Dnieper River, the major river of Ukraine that cuts Ukraine into eastern and western portion. So in 1986, there were two huge explosions that blew the reactor's 2,000 metric ton lid off, covering roughly 2,600 square kilometers of land with radioactive waste. So in the current scenario, as Russia invaded Ukraine, there was disturbance of the top layer of soil from movement of large number of heavy military machinery through the exclusion zone, and therefore there were evidences of some nuclear radiations and increased pollution in this very region. So this was all for today's topic of the day. For regular updates, you can follow us on our social media handles. And for more such videos, do stay tuned to the next IAS YouTube channel.